going on, guys? Victor here. Today is a very special day. It's a day that I have dreamt of for a very long time. We got my wife, Dennis behind the camera, my buddy Alec, and it's going to be the very first time we cross over to the Bahamas in our 2850 Blue Water. The whole reason we got this boat was to make as many Bahamas trips as possible. So for the next 3 days, high-speed wahoo troll, tuna chunking, tuna popping, deep dropping, and there's just so much water to explore. The islands themselves are beautiful, and we have looked forward to this for a very long time. So we got a little late start. We're waiting because our buddy Alec showed up here with our buddy Adam Lucy's passport, which is not his passport, so he's got to drive all the way back to Jupiter. So at least we got some downtime to cut some sardines. But that is the last thing you want before you're crossing over to the Bahamas, is to forget your passports.
Look who decided to show up.
Finally made it. Just drove 250 miles to get my passport, but at least we caught it here
But the boys
and
are
not
here.
in the Bahamas.
It's all right. Got all the rods packed, cooler full of ice, plenty of bait, chunked up some sardines. So we're gonna make our way out of Hillsboro Inlet, and it's about 70 miles. We're gonna be going to Blue Marlin Cove in West End. First, we gotta check in at Old Bahama Bay. So we'll see you guys there. Smiles per gallon, baby. We finally made it. So this is where you check in. This video, I want to really document for you guys the entire process of what it takes to come from Florida to cross over to the Bahamas. It's a little intimidating. I've done it on other people's boats, but I've never done it on our own, Brooke and I. But right over here is this little inlet, Old Bahama Bay. There's a fuel dock. This is where you got to do your customs, your immigration stuff, fill out all your forms, show them your passport, so that way you can clear. Because you are in a foreign country. It's only 70 miles away from Florida, but you're in another country and you're fishing in their waters, so you got to abide by their rules. So immediately, it's gorgeous, crystal clear water. Just 1 mile that way is 1,000 feet, and it's 12 feet right here. It's this whole chain of islands. The Bahamas is amazing in terms of fishing, in terms of beauty. We're gonna have a great time. So Ricky's getting some dock lines ready. We're gonna go do our customs, get cleared. So we just put up our yellow quarantine flag too. So when you get into international waters, you put up your flag, letting customs or whatever patrols by that you're coming in to check in, so they don't pull you over, and yeah, just to make sure you're legal. We're all checked in, passports, everything. You get a cruising permit to be able to navigate, and then you get a fishing permit, which we got. So now we're gonna head over, I think it's like 5 miles that way to the south. We're gonna go over to Blue Marlin Cove, drop off all our luggage so it's not in the boat, and then it's fishing time. All right, pulling into Blue Marlin Cove right now. Yeah, this is where we're gonna be staying. We've stayed here before, like 6 years ago with our friends. It's really nice here. They got a restaurant, a pool, and we're excited to be back. Dock hearts, major necessity.
Grabbed it from him. I didn't check.
This is the resident cat here at Blue Marlin. Her name is Tiger.
Welcome to our humble abode. This place is nice. We got a 2-2, actually 2-2.5. Dennis and Alec can share a room. They can
Bunk beds.
snuggle up tonight.
I get top bug.
But yeah, this is Blue Marlin Cove. You got the pool over there. You got a nice little bar area. And what I love about it is our boat's right there on the dock, straight shot to the ocean. So we could go south, we could go fish the channel, we could go north, we could go wahoo fish, deep drop, whatever we want. But this place is really nice. And look at this room. You get a nice waterfront view of that inlet right there. Okay, so we just got out here. We didn't really go where we wanted to go. We wanted to run really far north towards like Memory Rock and White Sands to wahoo fish, but there's a storm right there, and it's not really ideal high-speed wahoo conditions because it's blowing. So we're just gonna stay kind of close to home. We're like right off Old Bahama Bay, and we're just basically gonna work like 200 to 600 feet of water. We're gonna do a 4-rod spread. We got the 2 LPs, they're gonna go out the furthest, and every single rod's gonna have a different size lead. So the further out you put your line, the deeper your lure is gonna sink. and you want your spread to basically be imitating a school. So you're gonna have 4 nice big skirted lures, and the ones closest to you that are also the least furthest away from the boat are gonna be the deepest. So we're gonna go deep, not so deep, and then these ones are gonna be higher up top. So they're gonna have smaller leads. We're gonna do a 16 ounce on this side, 24, 48, and then 64 to kind of stagger them and find where the fish are. So what I got is we got the 2 LPs and then the 250 Macairos, a nice bimini, big, strong, heavy-duty mustad snap swivel. You snap your snap swivel to this trolling lead right here. It's got an open end. And then from the snap swivel, we're gonna do 200-pound shock leader, about 30 feet of it, and then straight to the lure. Conley makes these high-speed lures, and these track through the water real nicely. They all got different types of heads. This is like a torpedo head. Some of them have holes in them, so you do a big bubble trail, and just a bunch of different colors, purples, blacks, oranges. We're just gonna see what works and send them out there. And when you're, like when we troll back home for wahoo with planers, you're only going like 8 to 10 miles per hour, but we're gonna be going anywhere from like 13 to 18. And then you got all this cable to protect you from getting cut off by the wahoo. And the good thing about these lures, you could catch multiple fish on them. The heads never go bad, but you can actually usually bring them back to wherever you bought them from and they'll reskirt them for you. Okay, so we're gonna put them out one by one. And with these, we're looking for the total revolution. So this one will probably put back like 300 revolutions, maybe 350, then Alex 300, to try to keep them spread apart so that way we don't get tangled. We started playing some music and we got the first fish on.
Vic, what song were you playing?
Gas pedal.
Gas pedal.
It could be a cuda for all we know.
Yeah.
So the 2 things you usually catch with this are wahoos and cudas. We're hoping for a wahoo, but we won't complain. So now the important thing is making sure that we don't get any lines tangled. We gotta see where the fish wants to go. Rick's gonna try to keep the boat as straight as possible to avoid any turns, because you gotta remember you still got 3 lines out and you could really easily lose a fish if you get tangled. Oh, I feel like it just pulled off. I saw a head shake and it looked like it pulled. Did you see that? It looked like it went bam. I feel like the fish pulled off because I saw a big head shake and, Brooke, keep it straight. I saw a big head shake and now we're reeling them in way too easy. There's no fish on there. Well, there was a fish on there. You could see that the lure got all mangled up. You could see where it cut it with its teeth right there. Just the name of the game, but our first bite, so spirits are high now. We had one really nice bite that I'm pretty sure was a wahoo. Shook the hook somehow, but we trolled probably like 30 miles that way and then worked our way back, but we don't want to cut it close. It's getting dark, sun setting on the horizon, so we're gonna head back. But for me, this whole trip is just a big learning experience. I'm gonna be happy no matter what we catch. It's still just day 1. We have 2 full days. Today was just getting in the groove of things, fueling up, checking in, clearing in with customs. We got here a little late. Alec. But it's all right. We made the most of it, and we'll be back out here nice and early tomorrow. We'll see you guys there.
Well, good morning. Look at my friend greeted us this morning. She wants us to catch some fish for her today.
Okay, so it is day 2 at Blue Marlin Cove. We got up bright and early. Today's game plan, tuna fishing all day. We left all the high-speed stuff at home, the deep drop stuff. We got a bunch of poppers rigged, some NLBN straight tails, and we're gonna start the morning. We're gonna go around this like little bay area, see if we can't get net some live bait. We're gonna work our way southeast towards Lucaya and fish what's known as the Northwest Providence channel, where we got really good reports of a lot of tuna yesterday. So up bright and early, let's get after it. Okay, we got the net loaded.
See right there, the
I got the bibs on so we don't get all gross, because this canal that you net bait in is usually pretty grimy. So we're just gonna work down this little canal right here, basically right in front of where we're staying, and we're looking for these, they're like half pilchards, half sandy keys. They're flipping up top. We're gonna try to mark them on the sonar and gonna get up on the bow and see if we can't get some bait. Oh, we got them. That net is shining, and those are all decent. None of them are getting gilled. Woo! There we go.
Ooh, they're big.
Yeah, they're good size.
Not get it.
Hell yeah. We have a bait net too. These are the slimiest baits ever. So we're having a hard time seeing these baits. A lot of them go down real deep, so I think the move is to just throw the net as much as possible, because you're not seeing a lot of the ones that you have on bottom. So that right there is what we're after. They're called sandy keys. They look just like a pilcher. They're a little bit slimier. They got this little gold dot right on their gill plate right there. But super slimy suckers.
Into the drink they go.
Got a couple dozen in that throw. I got caught on the trolling motor. I need to not throw on that side. And Alex working the smart way. You put them right into the bucket with some water, and then you go straight into the well so that you don't have them flopping all over the deck. Or you bring a shrimp basket. What's that net? These are pilchards.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
The first throw was all sand. Now we got mainly pilchards.
They're hanging out underneath his boat.
They're all nice.
What up, man?
What's happening? One of my favorite YouTubers.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man.
Nice to meet you.
So tall.
At Land Shark.
Yeah, Landshark and Brooke right here.
Hi, how are you?
Right. Hey, bro. Yeah, listen to me. This is a pleasure just to be able to see you guys.
You getting them good?
Big school was here, but they just spread out a bit.
What's your name?
My name is Pablo.
Pablo. Nice to meet you, Pablo.
Yeah, man. Enough respect to you guys and what you guys do out there, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it's amazing to see what you guys do, man, in terms of those big tunas and stuff that you guys put in the marlins and stuff. Yeah, man.
We're gonna go for tuna after this. We're gonna run to the channel. Okay, bait mission is done. We got a few. We probably got like 100 baits. Not really enough to live chum with, but if you see a dolphin or triple tail or anything out there, or you have some nice hook and line baits for those tuna, a lot of those sandy keys and pilchards that we got were pretty decent size, so didn't spend too much time doing it. And now we're running about 50 miles to the channel where we want to fish. But first we got to fuel up, and you got to keep in mind a lot of these places will run out of gas, so we want to get gas now while it's available. It's going to be a busy weekend because it's nice and flat, so a lot of people are going to be running over here. So we're going to go fuel up and then spend the rest of the day tuna fishing. Grand Bahama Yacht Club, fishing vessel Blue Water coming into the fuel dock.
Alright guys, we are full. 340 gallons. I think we're good for the rest of the trip now. Can fish all day today, fish all day tomorrow, and still have fuel to run all the way back home.
If we pulled up, they weren't moving around like this?
No, they weren't.
Okay, so we were on our way to the tuna grounds and Brooke saw this right here. A nice little piece of rope with some seaweed on it. There's a lot of bait underneath it. And anytime we find stuff floating offshore, even if you don't see dolphin or triple tail right away, Sometimes they're patrolling the area, so it's always worth it to like stay in the area for like 10 minutes or so, because the mahis are not just going to sit underneath it all day. They'll be kind of patrolling all around here. So Alec and I just put out our pilchards and we're waiting to see if anything pops by. In the meantime, we'll throw a little popper, see if we can't draw anything up.
Well, it's lunchtime and we prepped some boneless, skinless baked chicken. And then we also made some chicken salad. So we got some wraps. We're living large out here. But this is Vic's famous recipe. It's really only using Vegeta and Kinder's salt, pepper, garlic seasoning. And you bake it at like 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. So good. Well, we just spotted our first group of birds. We got our radar going. We marked some birds, but they don't really seem to be on anything. They look like they're searching just like we're doing. We gotta find some birds that are actually on some action.
Okay guys, we just found our first group of birds that actually work in the surface. You can see they're scrambling. They're looking for all the bait that the tuna push up. And as soon as we got here, Brooke saw a blow up. So got a popper on. Alex got a popper on, and we're just slowly creeping up to the birds right here. So earlier, Dennis and I were talking about how you guys see we go on a lot of trips with a lot of amazing captains, but this trip for me is so special because we got the boat, we got the dream trip, we're in the Bahamas, and you're putting yourself on fish. It's a completely different feeling when you're captaining your own boat, netting your bait, doing everything on your own, which we do back home. But to cross the open ocean, make it to the islands, and to see this, get all your stuff rigged, it's a special feeling. Okay, these birds are moving around like crazy, which is normal. Sometimes the fish don't move a lot and they're kind of just in one little area. But these birds, every time the tuna comes up and pushes bait up, they find them, and that's when all the surface activity occurs. But right now we're just gonna throw some chunks in and see if they find the boat. Try to bring them to us instead of just keep chasing them down, because they're not reacting to the popper stick bait. Do the sickest thing. When you see these fish, when you see a 50-pound yellowfin, crystal clear water, eat your sardines 60 feet down, oh, it makes you feel some type of way. We got multiple setups on the boat. Some 30s, some Okuma Makairas, Conley 30 rod, some 50s. We got the popping stuff. We got some lighter stuff. Because sometimes, if the fish are absolutely gorging themselves on top, the poppers, the stick baits, the straight tails, they work really good. Other times, like we're gonna do with the chunking, they'll come to you and they react much better to the bait. But you wanna have as much variety of stuff as possible when you're out here to be able to present it in different ways. I already have 2 nice 5-gallon buckets of chunks of sardines, cut them into like 1/3 and 4ths, and then we have whole sardines that we're gonna put on the hooks that we're gonna put in as our chunks are going out. So the tuna are coming in the slick, eating your chunks, and they're just gonna think it's another piece of bait, but it's got a hook on the other end. And yeah, and then if you get them next to the boat and you see them going crazy, you could throw the popper out, but 60, 80-pound fluoroleader is a must. 5.0 Mustad Demon Perfect Circles. But I think we're gonna pick up here and go find another school, because this school is not very active, or there's just not a lot of fish on it.
It's a baby bathtub, I think, except for it has no bait on it. It's been floating for a while. It's got some growth on it, but no bait on it. On to the next thing.
So if you guys come over here, this is what we're doing, right? You got your radar on. I have it set to 6 miles, and then when you get closer and closer to the birds, the signal gets better. So we'll move it into 4, 3. But you got it set to 6, and so many times you mark boats, and that boat happened to be coming to the same 2 birds that we were looking for at the exact same time. But when they're far out and you can't see the boat with your eyes until you get close enough, you could be running over to a boat. So it's a lot of fuel burning, but it's fun, and we have the perfect conditions to do it, racing around in this boat. Still haven't found the fish, but we will get on them. It's also the middle of the day. The tunas get way more active in the afternoon.
It doesn't matter how many dolphins you see in your life, just every time you see them, they always just make you so happy. Unless you're someplace where they're eating your fish, then they don't make you happy.
We've marked a lot of schools of birds today, but this is probably the most birds we've seen in one area. We see some surface activity. If you come over here and look at the Garmin screen, we've been going everywhere, trying to not to really cover the same area, just trying to go to different areas. These birds are flying pretty fast. They're not really staged up, which is not good. But we have covered a lot of miles. Tuna fishing is not cheap. You burn a lot of gas.
Where are the beans at, there?
In the back, in the sink. Hand me one too. I wouldn't fish that. I'd fish a 30 or 50. We're not gonna keep chasing the birds. We're just gonna set up on them, threw some chunks in, gonna start flatlining the sardines, and hopefully they find us. Okay, so we've taken the big sardines, head hooking them just like this. Bury that circle hook in there, and now me, Brooke, and Alec are all going out with sardines, just feeding it back, and every once in a while, I'm just going in this little bucket, tossing out sardine chunks. The birds are in this area. We see blow up, so it's just a matter of time. You gotta wait until those fish find you and come to the boat. Oh, did he drop it? Oh God. I think he ripped it off the hook. There's something in the slick, that's for sure. Well, me and Brooke both had something pick up our bait. So there's something in the slick, don't know what it is. Or it got cut off, one of the two. It got cut off. Yep, so we both had sharks. Yeah. They're sharks. Can't win in Pompano, can't win in the Bahamas. Good morning, everybody. It is our third day here in the Bahamas, and I know you guys haven't seen any fish. We wanted to put fish in the boat, but today's our last day. Tomorrow's gonna be a little bit rough, so we're gonna tuna fish again, then we're gonna cross home in the afternoon. But I'm still loving life over here with my wife in the Bahamas. But if you guys fish offshore, I'm telling you right now, you need to get yourself a pair of bean bags on the boat, because your passengers will thank you, your back will thank you. When you're on a boat all day, your wife, your kids, whoever, hell, I'm even in the beanbag. They're so comfortable.
Dennis's favorite thing.
Yeah. Anytime you're making these far runs or we're going from birds to birds, instead of everyone having to grab the rails, you just sit in a beanbag, and you guys can actually save a little money on Ocean Tamer beanbags. I'm gonna have the coupon code linked here, and as well as in the description box below. But we got some tuna to catch, so I'm getting out of the beanbag in the captain's chair. We're gonna go get some gas and go right to the tuna grounds. All right, so we just found our first two frigates, and everyone we talked to yesterday said most of the tunas that they caught were under just one or two frigates working the surface around the weed line. So we're gonna spend a lot more time actually fishing today than looking for an epic blitz on top. But these two frigates are working. When you see frigates flying high, not good, but when you see them doing spins and circles and coming down on the surface, that means there's fish around. All right, so we got our spread out. We're gonna have 3 baits in the water. We're chunking. You're never gonna get a perfect situation where the birds are right on top of you, but as long as you're in the general area, like those frigates are still pretty close. These tunas are just circling around, working the bait. Just keep chunking and eventually they'll find you. It might not happen on the first school, the second school, but it's gonna happen today. And I'm slowly letting it out. You want your line tight, but you wanna have it in free spool click, just slowly letting it out, making sure your line's straight so it's not a big loop-de-loop, and just a little steady stream of chunks, like 2 or 3 every once in a while, just so that way you have a nice line of chunks going away from the boat so they come to you. Swim right to the boat, there we go. Woo! First fish on. That's the tuna. Yep. There we go. We were marking them really heavy under the boat and paid off. You just gotta chunk. You gotta keep chunking. Yep. Come on, guys, get bit. Get bit. This fish isn't that big.
Oh, I can.
Oh, I just got sharked. I just got sharked. Give me my fish. Look at him, Dennis. Get the shot. Get the shot. Ah, huge white tip, or huge dusky right there. That's the name of the game, though. You're gonna see sharks doing this. So you guys have seen a lot of tuna videos on the channel, and we fish for them in Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico, Florida, and every single fishery is a little bit different. Like the most popular thing to do here is pretty much chunk and live bait for them. In Mexico, we do a lot of trolling for them. You know, in Florida, we put up the kites for blackfins. There's always like little nuances to this fishery, but this is the best way to get these fish with the chunks because we're in a giant deep water canyon. These fish are going down to 600 feet, coming up top, chasing bait, and you really got to draw them to the boat. They're not really in one little spot. Like when we're in Mexico, we're trolling around one little area about 3 miles long all day long, and you know where the fish are. This is just run and gun. For me, the most fun part is looking at that radar, finding the birds, seeing the blowups, getting set up on the fish. That's what I live for.
Oh, we just set up shop. We're about to set up shop on a new school here. Just running and gunning until we find the right school with the right marks, and then we'll set up on them and start throwing the chunks and the deans out and see if we can bring them up. You don't always bring them up, but when you do, it's special. We're gonna see what happens.
This is the most birds we've seen today, and maybe even yesterday. Oh, we're starting to mark stuff. I think we should start chunking right here.
Yeah.
But the thing I like to do is, instead of getting impatient as soon as you see the birds, kind of see what they're doing and what area they're going to, and then set up your boat to drift in that line. But like you could see, we're marking some bait or something down there. But yeah, setting up properly on the birds is key.
Oh, I'm on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
That's a shark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
That's a shark.
There is a shark in our chum slick, and he just ate my sardine. And it's so clear, you can see so far down that Alex saw he was about to eat his, and he was able to reel it up before he got to it. But he's just down there eating all our chunks.
That's him. Yep. Look at him, he's not even fighting. It's the worst when you hook the sharks because they don't pull at all. They don't really break you off unless they break you off from the get-go. Come on, break off. Nothing like a shark to test a rod. He's just swimming like a little psycho. He doesn't want to break off. He's just doing little death circles right here. I don't know how an apex predator like that can be so lazy. Like right now, they just look like little puppy dogs until there's a tuna on your line, and then they go crazy. Wah, wah, wah. So far, we're 1 for 1 on sharks and 0 for 1 on tunas. Thanks to the sharks.
Oh, me too.
Really?
Me too.
Oh yeah, me too. Unless we all have the same fish. Oh, I got broke off. You have a tuna, bro. Mine was a shark.
Come on, baby. Stay glued.
I don't like how they're so close. Come on, guys.
It wasn't even out that far.
That's a tuna.
Woo, baby.
Watch the head shape.
Oh my God, they're in tandem. Come on.
Well, what should we do?
Just fight it.
We do have the same fish.
Double the
Did he eat both our baits?
Yeah.
Let's get him in, Alec. No sharks, come on. Oh gosh. It's a shark, I see it.
You guys both have sharks?
No, we have the same shark.
so funny seeing both the rods bounce at the same exact time.
I think I'll just let you fight it, Alec. What do you think?
I'm good with that.
Or we just top them off.
Lock your drags, both of you. We just threw some chummers in and the tuna are blowing them up right behind the boat. We just got to find the chunks. The whole Bahamas experience, definitely would do a little things differently. Wouldn't pack as much stuff. You always want to be like over prepared, but I think we brought a little too many rods, felt a little crowded. Definitely got to be really good about your gas because you burn a lot of gas, a lot more than you think. So you got to be really cautious of that. But it was nice just navigating the island, seeing how long it takes to get to places. So now we kind of got a game plan for the next time.
Victor said he was surprised by how much fuel he burned, but this man, every single time he marks a bird on that radar, throttle all the way down running to those birds. So he's not like driving around like he's trying to save fuel and get good fuel mileage here. He's just pinned down every single time. So definitely burning the fuel.
I've always heard the channel was a sharky place. I didn't know it was this sharky. I feel like anywhere we set up, we're drifting a Dean down and it gets sharked. Brooke and I had the same shark on, so was not expecting that. I thought I got away from them leaving Jupiter, but I guess not.
Come on, that's it. That's the tuna.
Woo!
Alec, can you crank this in? That's a real one. No shark here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Come on.
You're pulling the boat that direction. My line's getting slack.
Really? Oh yeah, that's the bite we're looking for.
Come on. Let's get him in before the sharks do.
You know, the sharks don't run like that. The tunas go straight down and they
heck
pull
no.
fast and hard. Oh no, he is.
Did your GoPro go?
This is exciting! Get them in as fast as you possibly can. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just using my left hand to help me gain line onto the reel as I turn the handle. And we'll fight them out of the bent butt too, but you want to get them in as fast as possible because of the sharks. So the most efficient way is definitely with the bent butt. And we got a nice matching set of boat rods from Colony Fishing. You guys can actually save a little money, save 10% off, use code LANDSHARK. All the rods on the boat today. Nice new Okuma 30 will be the first fish on this reel too. So when the fish are pinwheeling like this and you want to gain line, you put it in low gear. You flip that little button on the handle and you're able to winch them in. You get a lot more torque in low gear. He's just doing a big circle, using that big fork tail to his advantage. He went deep. He made a pretty crazy first run and then another secondary run. Could have been a shark. I don't know what happened. Something broke. Weird, it's not our day. Clean cut. Not fun.
I'm gonna call a shark. You think? Oh my gosh, that was such a slow bite.
You gotta remember you have a lot of slack out. Swimming towards you, shark.
I got your shark, Vic.
Lock it, put it in full, so that way he tries to break you off. Well,
You
I'm
can
sure.
tell.
I'm sure
It's
there's
that
lots of them down there.
Slow eat. Doesn't want to run, just wants to sit there.
Bless
God
you.
bless you.
See, that's how we know that my fish, what I just lost, was not a shark. See how this is what a shark acts like. Real slow, not fast runs. What I just lost was 100% a tuna to a shark.
can't even reel.
Don't be scared.
What song is that? Bon Jovi?
That's living on a prayer.
Singing the classics.
Oh, I just got picked up. Come on, come on. Big head shakes. Woo! That could be the right one. And then it just gives up. He's dragging me out to sea. Watch, the whole boat is gonna turn.
Is it giving you shark vibes now?
Uh-huh. It's giving me shark vibes now. Come on, break. The biggest frustration, since we've had 3 shark encounters now, but you know there's fish here because I had one on. Do you move? Because you know the sharks are gonna be here, but that probably means the tuna are too. Do you go find a new school, or do you keep, you know, not wasting time looking at the radar and trying to find a new school when you know there's fish here? It's a game time decision you just got to make. So we're going to soak a few more baits here and hopefully get one past the sharks.
What you think there, Alec?
I think I got a big shark. Nice, steady, dead weight. How you like the fighting chair, Dennis? Works pretty good, right? I'm comfy.
Updates, we're gonna go look for a new school of fish like I was telling you. It's nothing but sharks right now. When the tuna don't even have a chance to see your chunk because the sharks are so aggressive and are eating it first, you gotta move on. But there was some fish here. That fish that I lost was every bit of 50 plus. I could just tell by the way it was running. It pulled 100, 150 yards, probably like a 60 to 80 pound fish. It was a big one.
I saw something really big out in the distance, but then it went underwater, and I think it might be like a ginormous shark. We're gonna go check it out.
Big hopper at it.
She's not gonna eat her stuff right if I get
Kind of looks like a tailing swordfish.
That looks like a white shark.
Could be.
It's really big, whatever it is.
He's sunning himself.
He's the biggest shark I've ever seen.
It's not that big. Ah, he's spooked. His dorsal fin is really close to his tail. You can
You
see
like
his weight
shoot
still.
forward?
Yeah.
Might be a marlin.
He's booking it. You see his weight?
Yeah.
Should I go a little faster?
Yeah.
I can't really see with the 3 of you standing there.
See the head weight?
No.
Straight ahead of us. Moving to the right.
What is it? It just looks like a big dusty. Still is a very large shark. So all day long we've been running around and we've been seeing every other boat doing the same thing, and it doesn't really look like anyone has really been on any fish. And we finally just saw some fish jumping out of the water for the first time in hours, and there was like 5 boats all surrounding the same school. And we just left that school to come over to this one, and now we're the only ones here, and it feels much better. And you got fish on all sides jumping around. Shark. He didn't even do anything. He doesn't even know he's hooked. Just and get away from the sharks.
Well, we made it home safely, and it is not the result we wanted in terms of the fishing, but when you look back at it, you spent 3 days in the Bahamas with the people you love. I got my wife, I got my friends, and nothing bad happened. You know, when you're crossing that much open ocean, there's always like this little eerie feeling. You're going from Florida to the Bahamas, and you're in open water, and so many things can go wrong, from your engine, electronics, so fingers crossed nothing bad happened, and that's all you can ask for. So fishing success, not so much, but a nice first crossing, beautiful weather pretty much the entire time, and we learned a lot. You know, we learned a lot about the whole chunking process. I think the first day we probably should have spent more time actually chunking than just looking for really good feeding pods. But what do you think? The boys had a nice sightseeing trip, huh?
Was a fun trip. I know what a thermocline looks like on the machine now. I know how a shark pulls. Saw the most dolphins I've ever seen in my life in one time.
Alec got a sick selfie with a dolphin.
Yeah, me and Dennis, we got nice selfies, so we didn't come home empty-handed. It was a fun trip.
Yeah, we got memories. What do you think, Bricky?
I mean, what we bought this boat for was successful. We wanted to make those Bahama trips. Just next time we gotta put some fish in the boat, but you know, it's a big learning experience to do it all yourself. You know, it's actually a lot of work to do it, but so much fun to have done it and been well, I mean, we didn't catch fish, but we were there, we had fun, and that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes you fish and you just don't catch anything, regardless of where you're at. It doesn't matter if you're in the Bahamas, you're fishing off the coast of Florida, or anywhere. Like, you're gonna have those days where you don't catch anything. And that just is what happened to us. We put all our eggs in one basket to try to catch those tunas, and it just didn't happen for us this trip.
It's all right, we'll be back. But I'm very happy with this boat. It really is a dream boat for us. It's gonna allow us to do so many things. This is gonna be the first of many Bahamas trips this year and in the coming years. So I wanna thank you guys so much for watching. Just wanted to, I was like on the fence of making this video because we didn't catch anything. There's no catch, clean, cook, but I think this is a really relatable video to show you guys that we don't always catch fish. There's so many times where we film and we don't catch anything. You guys see a lot of times, it's great. Fish are biting, they're jumping in the boat, but it's not always like that. So just wanted to keep it real with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.